This is a follow-up to the August 4th prediction. I did not yet see a significant movement in price, so I'm not willing to call this a great prediction, right? Interestingly, the Iranian president did mention ending the Iran war today on the 21st, but unless that creates a new trend downward, I'm not willing to put a lot of weight on this vertical line. What does my incorrect interpretation of the geometry say about this geometry? Not very much. I'm reading this stuff with my eyes and then making predictions based on what I see. And so, as you can probably see on my channel, this stuff is quite complex. I don't always get it correct. This geometry is always correct, though. You should know that this geometry is sensitive to, literally, all future significant movements in stochastic time series. And it's throughout all of time. It's extremely scale invariant, I should call it. If you're new, this is probably not the best video for you to see unless I show you also the correct predictions I've made in the past year. So we're going to cover that. We are going to go over the proof playlist seen on my channel so that you don't have to go through all 13 of these videos yourself. The first video was predicting an event soon after 8:12 a.m., aka I should say DT, on March 31st. And so that's this vertical line here. Let's take a look at what happened when price passed this vertical line. This is what happened soon after 8:12. I think it was around 15 minutes after the specified time. The news event that was released was Trump tells aides he's willing to end war without reopening Hormuz. This created a noticeable move upward in the Australian dollar. And so from 2 days prior, this geometry was sensitive to a future human action. Let's move to the next two predictions. Here is a price prediction for US oil, and it's saying price will move downward from 110.95. Here is an x-axis prediction saying possible news event soon after 5 a.m. AKST 4226. And you can verify that the video is published before 4226 by hovering over this part of the description. Notice how in the middle of the description it says April 1st, 2026. Now let's take a look at what happened soon after this specified time. Here is what took place soon after the specified time a day prior. We had a noticeable change in price behavior. This is what the geometry is sensitive to. This change in behavior was not associated with any significant event. It was simply trading activity. Let's take a look at the next outcome. Remember the video of the giant arrow pointing down from 110.95? Well, look what happened on 4726. Donald Trump released a Truth Social post basically stating he's going to show mercy to Iran. This was after making major threats about bombing their energy infrastructure. It was a huge, huge moment, and that's why it made a huge movement in price. So it is verifiable that my geometry indirectly predicted a human action at least 6 days prior. Let's move to the next prediction video. Here is a prediction showing both a price and a time. And this was 3 days and 15 hours before the event. You can verify that this was published on April 9th by simply hovering your cursor over this part of the description. So April 9th. Let's take a look at the outcome. I really like this outcome video because it shows price jumping up last minute to make this a valid prediction. What do you think the chances are of price doing this? It's extremely low probability. Price could have went like this. It could have just went sideways. It could have just went down. But instead, it jumped up to make this all work. And so what happened soon after the specified time? We had two supply and demand related events. And again, we are indirectly predicting a human action that is moving the market. Let's take a look at the next prediction video. Here we have another price and a time, and here you can verify it was published on April 16th, and this event is for April 17th. Let's take a look at the outcome. So here is the outcome. We did not hit the price target, but we did get an event at the x-axis target. And you'll see in the next video I keep this same price because just because we don't hit this price doesn't mean there's not some event associated with this price. It just means I'm mismatching the x and the y-axis. So what happened here? Carlos Slim goes on a $500 million selling spree of U.S. oil stocks. Again, we are indirectly predicting a human action, whether it be the release of this news or it be Carlos Slim going on a $500 million selling spree. This prediction was published 4 days and 5 hours before the specified time. You can verify it was published on April 19th. It says on 4/24/26, soon after 12:08, there is some event, right? And look, we have the same price target. And so let's take a look at what happened. I really like this outcome video because of what price did after the published prediction. Price went sideways, and then when it hit this trend line showed in that prediction video, it started riding that trend line up to both the price and the time, and then it sort of detached itself. The market prints a high 3 minutes after the specified time, and then we get a couple of interesting news events. Crude oil prices slip on hopes of U.S.-Iran peace talks to resume. This was released by Bar Chart. And then we also had Witkoff and Kushner headed to Pakistan for Iran talks, which eventually ended up falling through. It did not take place. But still, these events here created this movement in price, and that's what the geometry is sensitive to. And so indirectly, it's sensitive to these human actions. Let's move to the next and final prediction. This prediction was published on June 16th, 2026. It was 46 days before the event. And what was the event? The event had two parts to it. On July 31st, we had a news event. The U.S. and Israel are planning a bombing campaign against energy infrastructure targets in Iran. Then on August 1st, Trump canceled those airstrikes. So this caused a very noticeable move down in the time series. This is what the geometry is sensitive to. And again, it was indirectly sensitive to human actions.